Hey, I'm Corsac, and this is Late Night City.
I'm glad you two are here. We don't have any time to waste.
Yeah, guys, this is some pretty serious shit we got going on here.
Hey, gang, what's up? Why are we down here?
Yeah.
Something looks Oh my god. Babs! Where are all the roots?
They're dead, Lily. Let me explain.
Yeah, but what the hell happened?
Shut up, Lily. Let her explain.
Sorry.
Someone put herbicide in the cistern water.
Oh, shit.
Well, the greenhouse and the bleachers are safe. For now. The Vault-Tec purifier detected it and immediately shut down the intake. Thankfully, not a single drop made it into the greenhouse. But the entire cistern is contaminated. I need to neutralize it with a treatment before we can turn the pumps back on.
Okay, so we're
You said it's
temporarily
safe
out of water
for now.
then.
How long we got?
Not long at all. I've got enough water for the greenhouse and the tanks for 2 days. The rest of us immediately have to go into water rationing.
Just how much water we talking here, Bob?
No showers, food, or fabric operations. I mean, the water is safe for us and for fabrics. It's an herbicide, not a person-cide. But the entire Bleachers water supply goes through the Vault-Tec purifier and into the same tanks I use for the greenhouse.
If you lose the greenhouse, you lose
We
the food.
don't have a branched water
Yeah.
supply. It means we all have the cleanest water outside of any vault, but it also means we draw from the same reserve. You're going to have to use bottled soda instead of the soda fountain, and stop other business. We can't spare water to wash dishes or prep food. The problem is the entire East Wall complex uses between 30 and 40,000 liters of water a day, more during a heat wave. My greenhouse uses about 80% of that. Textile uses 10%, and the remainder is for the diner and the rest of the bleachers and sheriff's department.
Shit, that's a lot of water. I had no idea, Bob. I can scale back operation and turn us back into a bottled soda shop until it's fixed, yeah. Keeping that greenhouse running is more important.
Thanks, DP. I'm going to cut back the vines today to save water for the cotton and crops. Removing as much gas exchange surface area from the greenhouse as possible can get us a few more days out of our supply. This isn't a problem that can't be fixed, but it's going to take industrial-scale chemical interventions, and it has to happen fast.
And who poisoned the
Fortunately,
supply?
The treatment is at Mass Chem, and Lily...
Yeah, I'm not going back there.
That's right, you're not. We sent Crenshaw already. We need you for something else. The sheriff will explain.
We initially thought this was an inside job, as Cistern security is so high. That didn't turn out to be the case.
It's her reflection in the
card
rock.
reader log shows Deputy Hewitt was the only one who accessed the cistern in the last 24 hours.
The scout that got killed by the gunners a couple months ago on the east side?
The same. We reported his death accurately, but withheld certain details from the report to aid in the investigation. Specifically, there were signs of torture on his body, and his badge and card were missing along with most of his other belongings. At the time, we attributed it to typical gunner greed. But now that his card has been used to access the cistern, we are suspecting something more. We're running on the assumption he was tortured into giving up intel about the department prior to being murdered and dumped. The easiest explanation after that would be they hired or threatened a Green Zone secure civilian into accessing the cistern with the card. Someone we know and see regularly. Someone who wouldn't attract attention wandering around right field by themselves.
The gunners, huh? You think they might still be a bit sore about, you know.
There wasn't any reason to suspect that had any involvement at the time of Hewitt's murder. As I said, just typical gunner greed. Circumstances are different now. So answering that part of the question is the second part of this mission. We know this. Hewitt was alive, confirmed by autopsy. And we never heard him radio for help. This was a well-planned abduction. He was also operating in the same area his body was found. So they likely were in the area long enough to gather intel for an effective abduction.
I don't get it. Where do I come in then?
Hewitt's body was found less than half a click from the residence of a farmer I'm told you are familiar with. The old man with the house overlooking the ruins of Fort Independence. I believe he was one of the first Atom Cat beneficiaries.
Oh yeah, Cooter. I know him. He's a good guy. We dropped one of those household fusion generators off for him a few years back. He likes to brew his own beer, you know? Grows his own grain for it, too. That reminds me, I gotta tell Babs about my suggestion for brew...
Thank you, Lily. Talk to him. See if he knows anything about Hewitt's murder or the people who did it. This is strictly fact-finding. Understand? If he saw anything, they likely threatened him with death if he told anyone. So he may need to be bribed or threatened for the info. I don't need to tell you the doctor's greenhouse is the lifeblood of our entire operation. The water purifier, the food, the cotton. Without it, the entire effort withers and dies. Plain and simple. If that farmer knows anything, question him. Try to find out who did this and why they went after us.
You got it, Sheriff. We won't let you down.
One last thing, Lily.
Yeah?
Don't bite off more than you can chew. This is strictly a fact-finding mission.
Hey, it's me! I know my limits better than anyone.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to make sure she makes it back.
Lily, is that you? It's Cooter. Over here. Don't go in there. They'll kill you. Follow me.
Cooter? What's up?
Who's in there?
Hey, wait up, we're coming! Cooter?
Oh.
What the hell, man? What are you doing in here?
What am I doing in here? Why don't you ask that goddamn sheriff of yours? Going around starting shit with the gunners. Poking hornets' nests.
Whoa, slow down. Start from the beginning. What's going on?
Gunners, Lily. Gunners been living in my house for 4 months now.
Oh.
They be live in my tool shed, farm my crops, and give them the food.
Oh, shit.
And it's all been a fucking get your scout. All the shit just to get one guy. That's how much trouble your sheriff hero's been starting.
Wait, you mean the gunners that took Hewitt are here? Right now? In your house?
That's the poor bastard's name, yeah. I'll never forget it. That's all he'd tell him. They tortured him, and he just kept repeating his name. He died for your sheriff's department. And now I'm living in a tool shed and shitting in a pot for them, too.
Jeez, Cooter. I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Fuck your sorries, Lily. Why the hell you guys gotta go starting trouble and leaving us to clean up the mess?
Hey, no reason to keep chewing me out, Cooter. I ain't one of the department. And you know damn well the sheriff doesn't start shit. She finishes it. Diamond City would be Gunner City if it wasn't for her and Oaks.
That's
And the Gunners
accurate.
would have made slaves out of the half of us they didn't kill. She don't go picking fights, and you know it. But you can't expect us to roll over and take it. Not like you did here for 4 months,
I
apparently.
don't know. I call that
Take
rolling
it.
over.
I'm just an old man, Lily.
Yeah.
There's a whole squad in my house. I ought to shoot you for saying shit like that.
Oh, you're gonna shoot me for calling you a pansy, but not a gunner for taking your house and turning you into a slave on your own land, tough guy?
Oh, I'll shoot you right in that big fucking mouth of yours.
All right, children.
Bring it, you old fart. I'll punch
Children.
your goddamn head down into your chest cavity and level your house with you and the gunners inside.
Okay. Am I interrupting anything?
No, you've been here from the start. You're part of this. He'll probably shoot you after he shoots me, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you know what? All right, let's go over the gunners.
Tell that to this hoary bag of sawdust and vinegar. I'm ready to go in there and make some ground gunner.
Let's do it.
Is
Fucking
that
lock
so?
and load.
Tell you what, you get my house back from me and I won't shoot you in that overactive mouth of yours.
Oh my god.
I'll even tell you what I heard those assholes talk about these past 4 months. Something tells me a sheriff wants to hear that.
And you stop blaming her for this. You know I'm right.
All right. Just get me my fucking house back.
It's a deal then, crazy old fool. Come on, let's go air out some assholes. Find out what we can before Cooter dies of old age.
That's
Always a
impressive in the
regular
Commonwealth.
goddamn fucking comedian, Lily. Here's the key. Mouth.
Well, I think that went well. Oh my god.
That hurt you.
This place is loaded. Lily, you got him? I think she got him.
Ass, you gonna.
Okay. Ow. You little... I need health. I need health. That gun hurts a lot.
Ooh, I'm still good.
Lily, honey, I need you to not stand right there.
That didn't hurt.
Did that?
Look at this.
Okay, ow.
These assholes really drink every last one of the beers?
Did I mention
Seriously,
ow?
though, look around. These guys were the ones who took Hewitt. We might have some intel around here. Check out this terminal. These are the assholes who took Hewitt, all right. They planned this for months, and we're hours from bugging out of here. The entry mentions the Hub City operation you did for Oaks, which means Devola was in town for something larger. And these guys were working with Hub City and that squad in Vault 75, which means they were all a part of this larger operation.
Yeah, they're all gunners.
Hey, you know what I just thought of? Did you check for intel when you took out Devola?
I don't remember. Gonna go with no.
Looting everything in sight and giving me heavy shit to carry ain't usually in the mission description either, but you managed to do that just fine.
Look at this goddamn mess! Those fucking gunners trashed my place! They drank all my beer, too! Why'd they have to drink all the beer?
Man, I'm really sorry they fucked your shit up, Cooter. I'll have Delano radio Zeke
Stole
at the
my
garage.
house. That
Things will help
sucks.
you clean
Drank
up.
my beer. That's
I'll
just
even
rude.
mention he needs to bring some beer with him. That sound good?
Well, it doesn't sound good, but it sounds better than where I was this morning when I woke up. So it'll do, little Lily. It'll do. I just want to sit on my porch, watch the ocean, and drink beer. Is that too much to ask?
That sounds like paradise, my friend. I'm gonna have to swing by on my next run and join you.
Listen, Lily. I wanted to apologize for yelling at you earlier about the sheriff. We all heard of her out here. We all know their camouflage. I wanted to tell you guys, but I just didn't feel safe. Those gunners kidnapped your friend, all right. I saw them set up the ambush point. I didn't see what they did to him, because they carted him off. But they dumped his body back where they found him.
It's okay. I understand what it's like to be alone. You're out here by yourself. I'm glad you're still alive for what it's worth, Cooter. Anything else you can tell us that was important?
Whenever they talked plans, it was pretty obvious they were reporting to some colonel. They never said his name, just called him the colonel. They sure went to a lot of trouble to get your guy quietly and alive. It took them a couple of months of just waiting and watching. I remember them talking about this colonel guy because two of them were bickering over who got to deliver the good news to him. They were supposed to get your guy talking and send the info to this colonel. After that, they just waited around for a while and drank all my beer.
You sure about that? Did they say where he was? Where they were taking their reports?
No, they never said where they'd go off to. And we live out here on a peninsula, so you always gotta walk west to get out here first. But there's more, so shut up for a second, I'll get to it.
Sorry.
So just last week, I see them dragging a settler and his daughter down here and rough them both up. They put a gun to her head and threatened to shoot her. They handed the father something and screamed to him, "Get it done!" The father came back yesterday, and they returned his daughter to him. I don't know what he was doing for them, but he didn't have no choice.
Guarantee it was whoever dumped this herbicide in the water supply. Gotta remind the sheriff he was forced before she finds out who it was. Anything else before we bounce out of here, Cooter?
Yeah, they had me slaving for 4 months, Lily. You tell the sheriff she's got a hell of a blind spot in the way those patrols operate.
That's just it, Cooter. They're patrols, not frontline troops. They ain't got the manpower to defend the entire Commonwealth.
I ain't talking about a bodyguard, Lily. I mean her scouts ain't never stopped to say hi to anyone who didn't have something to trade. All Hewitt had to do was ask one of the other local settlers, and he would have heard all about how the gunners were watching him. Now he's dead.
Gee, I see what you mean about that, Cooter. You make a really good point.
You wanna
I'm gonna have to talk
protect
to
the
the sheriff and
Commonwealth?
Crenshaw about
You
that.
gotta be part
The
of
only
it.
thing better than a beer on the deck is a beer on the deck with a buddy. You tell the other scouts I said that.
I will. Who knows? Maybe they can bring some oranges with them for you.
Some orange what?
Oranges? They're fruit?
Orange fruit? What kind?
Orange. You know what? Never mind. You'll be seeing one of them scouts in a few days. Try not to shoot him, okay?
Wouldn't dream of it, little Lily. I'll be here. I've always been here.
I grabbed a holotape of this asshole's journal. We gotta get it to the sheriff. But I got a sneaking suspicion this all has something to do with events in the past coming back to bite us in the ass. Let's stop by Hub City on the way back. See if we can find any intel where you iced Evola. Try to tie this all together.
Okay. Is this place Yup.
Blanket, which is a pile of...
Shoot, 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 shoot. Yup. Woo!
Ow! Fuck! Wait! Hold up! Time out!
Lily,
Time out.
you are vaguely on
Got
fire.
something in my eye. You gotta be fucked.
I need some criticals. I am also on fire. You'd think the military-esque group would be the one that would have the grenades, not the Molotovs. Although I'd probably be more dead. That's not what I wanted. Screw it.
Quitters never win. Those who never win and never quit are fucking idiots.
Got him. Ow! I'll take 2 free crits, sure. Good game, thanks. Oh, why is this up again? Son of a bitch. Did I just hear an Assaultron? Nope, but I found the jackass with the Molotovs. Yes. Alright, let's go. Good morning, sunshine. Okay. Oh, this kicked off very quickly last time. Let's get an actual gun on my hands.
Lock and load!
Like I said. Reload. Hit, please. Thank you. Why is the world made of explosions?
Come on, you pussies. Class is in session.
Oh, I was expecting the Assaultron again. Woo! That it? That is in fact not it. You punching me? Hey, didn't come right up into a firefight this time. Never mind. Ah, well. Lily,
I
not
don't
now.
get it. Didn't you whack the Hey, what's that hanging over that workbench over there? That a brooch?
Something about, didn't I check this before I took out Devola? Alright, what am I looking?
Hey, what you got for me? I don't get it. Didn't you whack Devola and a bunch of gunners here? Where's all the bodies? Hey, what's that hanging over that workbench over there? That a brooch? That noose the brooch was hanging on wasn't an accident. It's a safe assumption they cleared any intel out of here already, but this just confirms my suspicions about what's going on. Let's get back to the sheriff by way of a stop at my room first. You're getting caught up in something old and bitter. You deserve an explanation.
Hangman's Alley.
So, that explanation you're owed about the sheriff and the gunners. Huh. Where to begin? You see, they got a history that is making this Cistern incident a little more complicated than you might think. I know Babs mentioned what happened to the sheriff in Pennsylvania with the gunners a while back at dinner night. That's where it starts, but it doesn't end there. There was a little incident here in Diamond City the gunners perpetrated. The sheriff's response? We call that the message around here. The message in the FSD motto, Mite Nuntius, more specifically. It's a touchy subject around here, because the gunners killed so many citizens of Diamond City that day.
Oh shit.
That story about a squad going AWOL from the Brotherhood by stealing a couple of vertibirds in the middle of the night? All true. The 4 lieutenants are all that's left of them now that the years in the wasteland have taken their toll. They stole a fuck ton of plasma weapons and well over a dozen T-60s when they left. The same T-60s the department uses today. Gary was there too. He's a civilian, but they've looked out for him since Crenshaw found him starving to death in a subway station in the capital. After they left, they hooked up with the outcasts in the Allegheny Mountains and lived there in exchange for the vertibirds and plasma weapons. If you ain't heard that whole story, go talk to one of the lieutenants. They got this unwritten rule around here that you don't talk about battles and struggles you weren't there for. I'm about to break that rule, cause you're out here dodging bullets for this bad blood between us and the gunners.
That line between general chatting and you've now become a part of it.
The sheriff got a job as a caravan guard after the outcasts fitted her with that fucking kick-ass arm of hers. She wanted to see what's out there. Gotta admit, if you were a raider and you saw a 6'4" bruiser like her sporting that arm, would you hit that caravan? Nah, you'd hit the next one. One of the stops on the caravan's route was here in Diamond City. They'd show maybe once a month, stay for a couple days, and move on. I was probably a tweener back then. That's the problem with being an orphan. I don't know exactly how old I am. Anyway, back then we only knew her as the mean-looking guard with the cool arm who wouldn't talk. Most of the younger girls wanted to be her back then. Total hero worship for the girl with no name image, you know? I'd follow her around the city when she was here, trying to act like her and imitate the way she walked. I know, pretty pathetic. The merchant she worked for, Fiddle, was a real cool guy. One of the most popular merchants I've ever seen. Not a wet blanket like Lucas Miller. He'd park out front and have candy for the kids when he was handing out the mail, relaying news and returning with the special request items. Then, in one of the smartest marketing maneuvers of all time, he'd whip out his fiddle and make it sing so he could dance and shit. He'd get a sizable crowd out there, and we'd turn it into a mini afternoon festival of sorts. Kinda became a tradition before long. That was the problem, though. We got predictable. Huge crowd out front, giant wide open gate into the city behind him. We were so stupid. So predictable. One of them afternoons, the gunners launched a surprise attack on the city.
That sounds
Started with one of
incredibly
them.
stupid.
The Vola launched a fat man round right into the middle of the crowd from a blown-out window across the street. They
Fuck.
killed almost 30 of us in that blast, including the heads of security, fiddle, guards, women, and kids. Oaks worked security. His wife and daughter were killed. But he didn't find out till it was all over, thankfully. It spared him at least some pain. It's only sheer luck that I'm alive. I had to go back in to get some caps I saved up because I wanted one of them lemonades he was selling. The gunners had planned on dropping that mini-nuke and then waltzing right in, because they charged the wide-open front gate right after that. There was hardly anyone left alive out front, but Oaks and the sheriff were two of them, so the sheriff took charge. I didn't see it firsthand, I was just a little girl, but I'm told the two of them emptied all their ammo and grenades stalling the charge. They were able to turn the would-be fall of Diamond City into a day-long urban combat quagmire instead. Not a bad deal when you think about it. Long story short, the sheriff led him that day into not only beating the gunners across the river to Cambridge, but captured 30 or so of them too. But we had no idea what to do with the ones we caught. Well, food isn't exactly in generous supply in the wasteland, you know. So, we marched him into an alleyway north of the city, and kept him there that night, sitting on the ground, under lots of armed guards. The next morning, the sheriff sent her famous message everyone tells you to talk to Oaks when you ask about it. The sheriff started that day by launching a flare, to get the attention of the gunners that retreated across the river, still licking their wounds. We, and I mean the whole city, marched them gunners north, up to the south shore of the river, and hung them, one by one, from the lampposts. We strung them up all along the river from
shit.
the amphitheater to the alley where we had kept them the night before. That run-of-the-mill alley got a new name that day, Hangman's Alley. And the sheriff wasn't nice about it neither. This was no drop and snap hanging, not by a long shot. She used baling wire, didn't give 'em hoods, didn't tie their feet, and hoisted 'em up with a Brahmin on the other end of the line, slowly. Some of those fuckers took 5 or 10 minutes to stop kicking. I'd spit when I mentioned 'em, but I don't spit on my floor. She made 'em all watch their buddies die, one by one, till it was their turn to get the run up to the top of the next lamppost. And the ones watching from across the river? Did they ever go fucking apeshit seeing their buddies die? The flare did its job. They saw everything. But there was nothing they could do about it. We beat the shit out of them. They were in no shape to stop us, much less from across the river. They had to sit there and take their medicine while we hoisted their friends as high as they could go, kicking, gagging, and bleeding out their eyes and ears. We made the bodies the gift that kept on giving by leaving them up there to rot. Time and the elements eventually took them down. To rub salt in the wound, we took the ones we killed in the firefight and slung them over the river wall for the crows and dogs to tear apart. Practically overnight, the Commonwealth heard about what Diamond City did, and the literal new sheriff in town. She hit the gunners so hard their grandparents felt it. We haven't had a gunner attack on the city since. But what we found out today, and the Cistern, and Hub City, something tells me they're dying for a rematch. This wasn't just about the sheriff's hatred for gunners, if you're looking to assign blame or call someone a butcher. Understand the entire city would have ripped those gunners apart limb from limb with their bare hands if given the chance. They just killed our friends, children, neighbors, and family members, a lot of them. I mean, Oaks hasn't been the same since. Never. The gunners did something much worse than kill him that day. They killed his soul. The city needed the people that did this to hurt, and hurt bad. There was a rage in us over this. The sheriff knew it had to be answered. The only thing that kept us from becoming an ugly mob who beat him to death was the sheriff's promise of vengeance and strategy. The city didn't just need vengeance. It also needed real security to make sure the gunners would never even think of pulling this shit again. Through the sheriff, we got our blood and our safety. We loved her for that. And we still do. We were all there. The whole city. We all came out from behind the walls and marched to the river just to watch every one of them die, and not a single one of us looked away. Everyone who lost a friend or family member got a chance to lead that Brahmin to hoist one of those fuckers up, and we all took it, including me. It's not something we like to talk about, but we were on our own, and it was on us to do something. Nobody else was gonna do what needed to be done. I mean, do you see a justice system around here? Me neither. But it provided as much closure as a lot of people were gonna get that day. And that Devola creep, whose head you brought back to Oaks? As I said, he's the one who pulled the fat man trigger. We all knew his name. We knew who he was and what he did, even though they didn't tell you up front. Every one of us. It may have been hidden behind a typical bounty, but the FSD wanted his head worse than Oaks let on. Much worse. That's why they had you leave the brooch. This is personal. Yeah. So now you know. You know just how mean we can get when you hurt our family. And as far as messages go, it don't get more clear than that. All we got is each other, and we're loyal to each other to the bitter end, whatever it may be. Don't forget that. Now let's go report this to the sheriff. This is pretty big.